Welcome to my mad scientist build, you experimental bastards. This is non-combat oriented build, although we are going to be efficient in combat as well due to our ability to debuff enemies in various ways and turn the tide of combat to our favor by using weird science stuff. Essentially, this is support healer build that focuses on using many important skills that can benefit the whole party in combat and non-combat situations. So I'm not trying to maximize damage or anything like that here, it's completely the opposite. Damage is irrelevant, but we will have ability to do decent amount of damage through some weird science stuff that can be obtained later on. Until you get some weird science stuff in the game, which can be quite early on, at least for some items like Brainwave Destabilizer Weapon, you will primarily use this character as a healer. The more game progresses, more this character will be equipped with various things that you can use to your advantage. Even though intelligence might not be the best stat to focus on with such a build, I went with maximum amount of points in intelligence first. Reason behind this is that critical heal chance increases, critical heal bonus increases, and we get +1 skill point every 2 points into intelligence. Additional skill points are very nice because, as I said, this is support oriented character that has many usages outside of combat. We need character that is oriented on non-combat stuff as well. Other two important attributes for this build are speed and coordination. Reason behind this is that we want to travel the battlefield as much as possible. For that we need more action points and more combat speed. Having additional evasion from combat speed also isn't a bad thing. Outside of intelligence, attributes that I would max out are coordination and speed, and after that go for whatever you want. 4 points into awareness and strength are really good for this as well, because with strength we're gonna get more constitution per level, which will offset less constitution per level that we get from point Dexter quirk. 4 points into awareness grants us additional hit chance, which is really good. We don't really need ranged damage bonus, but having additional hit chance with weird weapons is not a bad thing at all. Quirk I went with, as I said earlier, is point Dexter, but this is optional. You don't have to go for this quirk, you can choose whatever you wish. I went with this one because of the bonus to skill points. As I said, I want as many skill points as possible to be able to max out many skills. Background also optional, I went with Paladin to have crit resistance plus 10%. With some armor mods and weathered non-combat perk, this crit resistance can go very high up, all the way up to 30% and maybe even more. Reason why I think crit resistance is important on this character is because we are the medic of this team. We don't want other characters having to go to us to revive us. That is completely counterintuitive. Instead, I want to have that crit resistance high up, since crits in this game can hurt a lot. It can kill you instantly on hard difficulties, quite easily so. I don't want that to happen. For early game I would advise putting 6 points into intelligence and then leveling up speed and coordination to have that extra mobility and action points. Then you can choose if you want to max out intelligence, speed or coordination first, completely up to you. 3 primary skills for this build, since it also fits the role-playing element, are nerd stuff, weird science and first aid. Nerd stuff will make us robots' nightmare, as we will be able to hack everything that has wires in it. Weird science lets us use all the weird science things that can be really good later on. First aid, self-explanatory, we are the medics, so first aid is needed. These are your 3 most important ones. Now next to this I also went with armor and weapon modding. We are a scientist, so this is really nice for the whole team, so no one else needs to focus on it. If you don't want to go for armor or weapon modding, you can go for something like mechanics, because it fits scientist role-playing element as well. Perks I would suggest for this build are healthy to increase survivability just a little bit more. Same goes for weathered, which increases crit resistance, that works well with paladin background. From skill perks we want 2 of the nerd stuff, targeting override and electric leakage. Last one is also nice, but it's an optional one. I wouldn't really bother that much with it unless you have some perk points that you don't know where to put. From first aid I would go for emergency response that increases our combat speed by +1 for 2 turns when our ally goes down. Overhealing most definitely, it's such a fantastic perk. Even though we are not damage dealer, Hypocritical is a nice addition if we are using weapons such as Regan's Gaze that do damage. Microwave Research from Weird Science is a nice one as well when we are using damage weapons. Same as Conductive Beams. I would not go for Overload because you can destroy a weapon and usually Weird Science stuff is unique, so you can't find it anymore. If you went with armor modding like I did in this video, definitely go for Tender Loving Care. Weird Science enables use of very interesting weapons such as Brainwave Destabilizer, Regan's Gaze, Shrink Ray, utility stuff like Sonic Emitter which can stun enemies, Electro Helmet and Chemtech Armor. Chemtech is fantastic for healers as it grants healing bonus. It also grants us ability called Combat Steam, which increases our hit chance and AP for 6 turns, which is usually enough to finish a fight. If you want, you can add mod that increases healing bonus even further. Brainwave Destabilizer is a very powerful weapon, but unfortunately it costs a lot of action points to use and it has a short range. My advice would be to mod it to increase range and reduce AP cost, if there is such a mod. By having range increased, we can hit enemies with it from afar, which means less action points used to get in position to use this bloody thing. If there is a mod you can attach to it that reduces action point usage per shot, that would be also very good. So how to play this build, since it can do so many things at once? You have fantastic amount of weapon diversity, with some of them debuffing enemies, some of them turning them to your side, some of them doing nice amount of damage, and also with so many utility options such as Electro Helmet, Sonic Emitter and so on. Well, it all depends on the situation. First things first, if there is a robot in the enemy party, you have to hack it. That is your primary goal. If there are no robots, then you need to do some offensive action in first couple of turns until your allies are hurt. When your allies are hurt, it's your turn to heal them. Your heals are gonna be insanely powerful, so you don't have to worry about them anymore at all. Especially since medpacks restore constitution for 3 turns. Anyway, that would be all. Thank you for watching the video and stay tuned for more Wasteland 3 content.